Hey everyone, so I know it's been a while since I've been on with a math video. I'm so sorry about that, but the beginning of the school year has been a little crazy and hectic, but I'm going to try to be on a little bit more frequently, sharing some math ideas with you for students to develop their math skills conceptually. So today we're going to talk about some different addition methods. Yes, we will talk about the standard algorithm, the US standard algorithm that most of us are aware of and use, but I want to talk about some other addition methods that are great for students as well. Okay, so all the methods that we're going to talk about are variations of a standard algorithmic approach, okay, that works for numbers of any size or any kind. Basically, you add like quantities, and if necessary, you give 10 of one unit as one of the next left unit, which is called regrouping. Okay, so like I said, this can work for numbers of any size, but I'm just gonna, for right now, we're gonna do a 2-digit plus 2-digit just to make this simpler. Okay, so first of all, students need to see problems written both vertically and horizontally. Okay, so they need that exposure to both vertical problems stacked and also horizontal problems going across. Okay, so let's start with expanded form as a method. So for expanded form, students would write the value of each digit in the add-in. So 50 plus 8 is 58, and 30 plus 6 is 36. And then at this point, they can either move from left to right to solve or from right to left, whatever they're most comfortable with. So 50 plus 30 is 80, and 8 plus 6 is 14. And then from here, they would solve 80 plus 14 is 94. Okay, so this is called expanded form, and this basically just shows them the value of the digits in their add-ins, so they understand that place value. Okay, another method for solving addition problems is called show all totals. Okay, so for 58, I'm just going to use that same problem. For show all totals, they're going to use that same knowledge of expanded form, except they're going to display that information below the problem. So 50 plus 30 is 80, and 8 plus 6 is 14. And then that gives them the sum of 94. Now, this can also be done from left to right or right to left. So if you wanted to do it, if students wanted to do it going from right to left, then they would see 8 plus 6 is 14, and 50 plus 30 is 80. An important component of using this show all totals method is that students must understand the value of those digits, okay? Now, the next one I'm going to show you, we are all very aware of, which is our US standard algorithm, the standard algorithm that is used in the United States. So what we do is we add our ones place, 8 plus 6 is 14, 14 ones, and then they regroup the 10 ones that are made in 14 as 1 10, and it's shown above. Okay, and then they add their tens place, 1 plus 5 plus 3. Okay, now this is actually called new groups above, because the new group that they made is placed above the top add-in. Okay, there's also an algorithm that is called new groups below, and the way this method works is when you are regrouping, so 8 plus 6 is 14 ones, they're going to regroup their 10 ones as a 10, and then they get their 4 ones, okay? And then they add their 10s, 5 plus 3 plus 1. Okay, so the 5 and the 3 is 8, plus their 1 more that they regrouped is 9, and they get 94. Okay, so a great thing to do with this is to have conversations in your classroom that, like, how are these methods alike and how are they different? That's a good mathematical conversation to have with students. Actually, this show all totals and the new groups below are actually more accessible methods for our students. So I'm going to especially talk about this one and what are the advantages of using that method. So for this new groups below method, it does have several advantages over this common method that we're used to. And it's because you can clearly see the 14 ones in that first step, with the 1, 10, and 14 put down below in that tens place, waiting to be added. Okay, and then children can write the digits of 14 in their normal order. So they can write that 1 for regrouping and then the 4. With new groups above this one, children usually are encouraged to write the 4 ones down here and then regroup the 1 to the tens column. And sometimes children reverse this and write the 4 above and the 1 below. But it may just be that they're writing 14 in their usual order, 1 first and 4 second, rather than making a conceptual error. So using this method helps keep that error from happening. And with the new 10 below, you can add the 2 numbers of tens that you see, the 5 tens and the 3 tens, to get 8 tens, and then add the new 10 waiting below. So with the new groups above, children either often add the 2 numbers that they see, 5 and 3, and then forget to add the 1 new 10 that's above, or they're encouraged to add the new 10 to the top number, so like 1 plus 5, to get 6 tens in their head, and then they ignore that top number of 5 and add the number in their head to the 3 tens. And this can be more difficult for students. Another thing that you want to consider is enabling students to see the quantities involved in the addition and relating steps with the quantities, steps with the written method, okay? So seeing the quantities, the steps in the quantities with the written method. And that's the key to understanding and accuracy. So basically what I'm saying is allow them to use math drawings and like manipulatives and relate that to the written method so they can see the comparison. So I wouldn't necessarily start with just digits. I would start with numbers as small as this. You could use base 10 blocks, but when we get into, again, 4th grade and we're working up to the millions place value discs would be much better. And I can share a link. There's a really good virtual manipulatives on Didax for place value discs that can be used. And now students don't have to have these forever, okay? So they should be working with the manipulatives all the time. Math drawings may not need to be used very long by most students, but they do support the reasoning and the classroom discussion for all of the methods, okay? So as they're being developed, you're definitely going to want to use those math drawings or the manipulatives and then make comparisons, like make the connection between those and this written method.